for coming. My name is Jessica Desouza. I'm a radio promoter. I also work in advocacy and with the city of Miami Beach on trying to improve nightlife for everybody, whether they're in the music business or just casual party goers. And I'm very, very happy that we're able to put this together for Shift. What I like the most about Shift is that they're trying to re-evaluate what a music conference is and what value you can get out of these events for aspiring artists, established artists, and of course people within the industry. And I wanted to make sure to create this place for something so important to me and Layla's mission here. In order to preserve culture, you must protect it. And so I'm going to introduce Layla to start.
Hello, thank you for everybody to be here today, and just going to explain a little bit about, why Lady of the House came about and why we're doing this very special conversation today. So Lady of the House started 5 years ago, and it was very much put in place because, we could see over all our careers, women in the business, that we'd very much be at times written out of history and not given the, flowers that these amazing women have deserved. So we've written a book, we've got a record label, media platform, and a not-for-profit. We've reached 300 million people today. We've done 45 releases on the label, released 72 artists, and worked with over 2,500 creative and professional, amazing women in this industry. 2 of them are here with us today. They're very, very important women to me in particular. These 2 queens, because they've supported me, throughout the period of time that I've known them, always been behind me, always been an inspiration to me, very much been, mentors, and we've always been there for each other, which is what we need to do more of as women. I think for me, bringing these 2 ladies together today, these legends, these icons, is just been something that I've wanted to do for a very long time. When one of the ladies remixed the other ladies' record, we just knew that it was time. Jessica is now going to introduce these 2 amazing, iconic legends, and then they're going to have a very special conversation in a different way, in a different format, what is going to give everyone a lot of inspiration.
So I am so honored to introduce the first lady, the Lady of House, Sam Divine. House legend. I cannot think of Defected Records without thinking of all the contributions that she's put towards the label. And of course, the eponymous queen of dance music, Barbara Tucker. When we think of dance music, we think of these great songs that are all hers, legitimately hers, written, sang, produced, all by her, and I'm so honored to have them speak their truth.
Thank you. So could we please welcome the Queen of House, Barbara Tucker, to the stage.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
And can we please, sorry, I did it too soon. You're going to sit there.
Intro and sit, or stand next to you, I don't know.
I always stand next to you, please say. She's got the shoes on. And can we please welcome to the stage the second Queen of House in the building, my sister, Sandy Vine.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Lady of the House. Give it up for Lady of the House and Jessica. Bringing us of many platforms together. Wow, it's so good to see you here.
Yeah, the last time was New York, I think.
No, unfortunately, because I had moved from New York. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia.
Well, I came to see you when you do your
Oh, okay. Oh, yes. event and you came and I didn't see you. You
I
were
missed the
there.
whole thing. I
Oh,
literally came just as you guys were finishing, so yeah.
And we did one last night too. It was really good. And we're here. So, you know, I thought that this would be interesting. Usually artists, they don't talk to each other on a very natural level. And I thought it would be interesting. First of all, how you all doing? Everybody's good. So I thought it would be an interesting thing for us to talk to each other, interview each other, have that conversation, because there's so much about the industry that people don't know that are behind the scenes, and the emotion and the realness that we feel or experience in this industry. Now, I've been here for 41 years. December 1985 is my first ever recording Heliquin for Set It All. Y'all want this one? All right, so that song. So along my journey, there just has been so much that happened. Things, of course, that bring the upset for the setup, to push you up or to take you out. How about yourself?
Well, I mean, I was 4 when you had your first record. I mean, for me, I've been into music from a really, really early age. My mum always was playing music in the house. In the car, she was a lorry driver, we always had it on in the truck. So I bought my first album, Tina Turner album, when I was 7 years old on CD.
Wait, you brought the album?
On tape, yeah, that was my...
What made you buy a Tina Turner?
Because Mum always had Tina Turner on, and she was so inspiring for music, you know, Lionel Richie. I just remixed Billy Ocean, Caribbean Queens for my mum, you know.
Okay.
So she's not with us anymore, so I just want to keep her, you know, her legacy, and she was such a legend. And yeah, I feel like music has just always been in my blood, and then I was so blessed to get signed to Defected Records in 2009, and yeah, they say I was the first lady to be signed, which is cool. So yeah, I just kind of, for me, you know, in terms of legacy, I just want to leave the scene better than how I found it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Even though it's changed somewhat, and we can't go back to a good time in the industry, we have to keep it forward, and through mistakes or errors or upsets within it, we have to take that and help it to expand better than what it was.
Absolutely.
So we have some questions in here that we don't know which one is going to be picked or something, but we're going to take turns. I'm going to pick one, and she's going to answer this question. Do I have glasses? Then. Okay. See, I'm over 60. That's a senior moment. Okay. Okay, let's see what's going on. Okay. So I want to know, what was the craziest or most unbelievable experience in your career, the moment that ended with, we did it?
Oh my gosh, there's been so many. I guess kind of the biggest one for me was getting signed to Defected Records. That was a huge moment for me, because I used to work in record shops back in the day.
Okay.
And I worked in a record shop where they didn't have a house section. It was drum and bass, hardcore, jungle, and trance. So I said, you know what, I'll work for free. They gave me a budget of £100 a week, and I had my little Defected set up, my shrine of Defected. And I used to call my friends up and be like, bro, you need this record, and just put the phone to the needle and just like play the record. And every week I would sell out, so I'd have like my Defected shrine. So even before Defected, for me it was, you know, I just wanted to be signed to Defected, so it meant so much to me. And went through, you know, being a street team for Defected, and then events manager for Defected, and then Simon finally called me and was like, we're going to sign you to the roster.
This is awesome. See, in other words, you just didn't happen to, I'm just this beautiful woman, and oh, we're going to sign her to Defected. You went through.
Simon made me work for it.
Okay, I got that part, but prior to that,
Yeah.
the experience of first, even as a child, loving music, so understanding music, and I'm thinking also in my head you was doing the Tina Turner dance when you got to the roller part, okay? So I'm thinking also of doing some promotions, and just somebody saying, I will work for free because of music, and you think that music should have been in that space. I think that's amazing. So before he worked, of course he's going to make you work because that's the boss, but he saw the potential in you for music, whereas a lot of young people, young women, they just, oh, I want to sing, I want to DJ, let me get out there. But prior to that, what are you doing of your passion, of your dream that's leading you to that final, not the final, but that result, that goal that you wanted? I thought that was amazing, working in it. Someone said once, if you can do it for free, then it's going to eventually pay you.
Yeah.
You ever heard something like that? Yeah, it's the passion of it. So it's your turn.
Oh. Okay, so do you believe what you do is a calling? If so, how and what does that calling give to the world?
I believe, okay, did you hear the question? Okay, just want to make sure. I believe it is a calling to the industry. It's interesting because I never wanted to be a singer. People thought and think even to this day that I am a DJ. They'll say, well, what is the system that you use? No, I'm not a DJ, I'm a singer. But anyway, I wanted to be a stewardess, because that's what they called it before the flight attendants. I wanted to be a stewardess. I'll never forget, I was 13 years old, I wanted to do that. Or I wanted to be a gym teacher. Yeah. A gym teacher, first of all, I was very sporty when I was younger. As you can see, sometimes I don't know. I'm like you a little bit. I don't know sometimes if I'm hip hop or if I'm funk, if I'm glam. So I just combine it all together. But what it is I saw the gym teacher. She always had on sneakers. She always had on shorts. She used to teach the class and sit in the chair, and they used to do all the exercises or whatever we were doing at 13 years old. And then I said, wow, she gets paid for the summer and doesn't even have to be at work. So I saw all that. What kind of thought is that? But what happens is, with a calling, it's something that keeps on awakening in you, or mainly it keeps attracting people to you that you don't know yourself. So I was showing up in spaces, growing up doing talent shows because we were trying to get out of classes. So, oh, we're in the room practicing as a teacher, you know, so I wouldn't have stuff like that, not thinking I wanted to be a singer. Or people knew that I could sing because my father was a singer with the Persuasions. They are noted as the granddaddies of a cappella, and he's still here. He's a soul surviving member. So I would sing here or at church or wherever, not knowing I wanted to or I needed to or I had a reason to sing, just being a part, because I guess I can harmonize, I can sing, and that was it. And then what happened was, as I'm in the industry singing and choreographing different artists or whatever, living in the moment, not thinking, next week I'm going to have a track out, I'm going to do this, just in the moment. You understand? Just, we're doing it, okay, let's have a party. The Little Rascals. Let's put on a show. Okay, let's do it. But again, not thinking that that's what I wanted to do. But I noticed in the years that I was doing it or promoting, because I was a promoter in New York City, the Underground Network with Don Welch, and we hired Louis Vega in 1992 to be our DJ, and we pretty much had a black crowd, and he was up in there, and we were like, or they were like, well, who's this guy? This Louis Vega. My partner knew him because he was a Billboard reporter. So what happened, still singing, and in between what I'm promoting and what have you, people would ask me to be a part of groups and sing and write, and still not thinking, this is what, 92, 93, that this is not my thing to do. You know, I just had these things naturally, but then artists started calling me. I want to give up. I don't know how to do this. Can you show me how to do that? So then there's the mentor that had to show up in my space. It's a spiritual thing. People start coming to me, hi, how, why, when, or you're there giving them the empowerment and the spiritual power to stand when people try to take advantage of you or so and so. But then one time at my church, a prophet, I go to a church with a lot of prophets. Y'all know what prophets are, right? Okay, some believe, some don't. Some like psychics. I like the prophet because they go through the front door. Okay, you get that. But one said, it's like you're called to be the Harriet Tubman of house music. That's when the bell went off, because I kept wondering, why are these people coming to me? I cared more about other artists' gifts than, oh, you got a show now? Oh, I got a show now? I'm promoting part of, oh, now it's your turn to go on. I forgot I got to sing. So that's when I knew it was the calling, when I knew it was the assignment.
I love that. I love that. Let's get another.
Oh, okay. You think I can pull out 1 million pounds out of here?
You'll be so okay.
What? Oh. What does your presence give to up and coming artists or DJs who want to follow your path? What does your presence give to up and coming? Well, I think that not just my presence, but your presence, or anyone, especially if you're here 20 years and more, you have the scars. You have, and you know what the scars are. Those are, again, the disappointment. Those are the situation of here, the clashing. Those are the situations where people not supporting you, but you're still standing. And the scars stay with you, not to control you, and you say, oh, look, I got hurt. No, just to remind you that this is, sometimes you have to go through the testing, you have to go through the messages, the testings, and then of course the blessings come. So sometimes you might be in a season, well, I'll put it here so it's out of the way. Sometimes you have to go through a season. What season are you in? Are you in the testing of your journey, of your gift and craft? Are you in the message of it and trying to listen to it? Are you in the lessons of it? And are you now in your blessings of it? So I think I could be that mentor and that coach to work from the inside of an artist, or even a DJ, because you're still a person, you're still in your creativeness. So I think you have many people who work on the outside of you, showing you how to sing, dance, or mix, put the needle on the record, but nobody's working from the inside out. So I think that's what I can add.
Definitely. When I say, I'm going to just grab it.
Oh, that was for me.
Yeah.
No, that was, you gave, oh, somebody should have corrected me. Okay, well, you just answered that one for yourself. We'll be even.
Sam, grab the mic.
At what moment did you realise you had become the mentor, and how did you get there? Well, I guess I was actually mentoring an up-and-coming artist called Jess Bays, and she came to me. She was working in security in an airport, and I just started my record label, Divine Sounds, and she was TMing me for a little bit. She put herself through DJ school, and I thought that was really cool, because now everyone's just, you know, they just hit sync and you're away, you know. So she actually put the work in, and I said, how much do you earn in your day job? Because I will match that, and you come and work for me full time. Yeah, thank God she was only working part time. Thank God. Yeah, but so then I kind of took her under the wing, and I was showing her the ropes of, you know, the A&R side of it, and she was kind of front of house, really liaising with the artist, and she was really good at social media. And then I took her on as a tour manager, and then I just said, come with me on the road for 2 years and learn the ropes, because I can literally hand it to you, but you need to learn the ropes, like I did, you know. So that's what happened. She came on the road with me for 2 years, learned the ropes, and then she was ready. So I would call up my friends and say, you know, can you put her on a warm-up set? And you know, she was meeting different artists through the record label as well. And it was amazing, and she just caught a vibe, and then she ended up getting signed to the Defected roster as well.
Wow.
And was, did her first South America tour and was playing over Europe and for Defected, and it all happened over like 3 years, but the fact that she put herself through DJ school made me really want to help her and know that she was really, that she really wanted it. So mentoring for me kind of came out of the blue. That wasn't something that I kind of had on the cards, but she came to every single show that I was playing. So I just kept seeing her pop up, to the point where we got into a conversation. And it just went from there, and now, she's got over 1 million listeners on her Spotify. She's playing all over the world. She's doing festival season, Ibiza, Tomorrowland. And we became really, really close friends, and I'm really proud of her.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful of the assignment. I'm reminded of that. Who says when the student is ready, the mentor will show?
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, Simon Dunmore was my mentor for 15 years. I learned from the best. So, I think putting whatever, everything that he taught me into Jess, and just showing a lot of compassion and empathy. And I think females and females working together, we've got hormones and all the rest of it going on all the time, really. So it's just, it was a blessing to see her kind of flourish.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Now I'm going to give this to you. I have the other one so I can get back on track. Okay. Have you, no, I'm going to do it. I'm back on track.
Oh, okay.
I'm back on track.
So confused.
Okay, you won't be after this, we'll be back on track. Have you ever discouraged, and I think that's supposed to, have you ever been discouraged and did what? Okay, who's the writer? Okay, have you ever discouraged and what did you, have you ever been discouraged and what did you do to overcome that within this industry?
Well, I mean, I've wanted to give up many times over the years. It kind of gets to the point where, I'm sober now, and when I was in active addiction and partying a lot, your mental health suffers incredibly, and when you've got things going on in your head, it's like not even the highs of DJing is cutting through, so you just feel, you're rolling on a low frequency all the time. And when you feel in that space, the smallest of thing, you don't get the gig that you want, or you don't get the set time or the billing. It can be the smallest thing, and it just over time grates on you, and you just want to give up. But I think for me now, being 15 months clean and sober, has given me it's definitely given me a second wind in my sobriety, finding my faith. You and I spoke quite in depth of, our faith and how that transfers into my life particularly. I look up to you for that as well, and I know we had some really cool conversations in Croatia, cruising back from the festival in the car. And yeah, I think as a strong woman, I feel that I'm very resilient. And that I can get over anything. And now for me, if something doesn't happen in my life, it's because, the big man has shown me a different way, and it's a teaching and a lesson. So I don't get discouraged anymore. I'm too blessed to be stressed.
All right.
Was there ever a time you wanted to give up but didn't? What kept you going?
Oh, shucks. Okay, that's kind of discouraging. I have to say no. The reason why I wasn't, wanting to give up, because I never wanted it. So, I wasn't like, oh, I want to be a singer, they gotta pick me on with it. I was just showing up. I'm a Pisces, so we tend to be jack of all trades and masters at none. So if I'm not singing, then I'm choreographing. If I'm not choreographing for a Shannon, Give Me Tonight, or a Sweet Sable, Love So Special back in the day, then I'm doing musical theater. So I was always all over the place. If I wasn't doing that, then I'm doing promotional parties. So I always forget what hat I was wearing, and I never call myself a singer. When people say, oh, they're just singers, I'm doing so many things. Look, so I have to say no, because it's not something that I was striving for. I was just showing up, and then I was very active in my church. So again, God had food on my table. I had something to wear, someplace to sleep. So my thing wasn't, I wasn't eating and like, oh, I just gotta do music. I didn't know. It's like I didn't want it because I didn't know that there was something else that was attached to it. For me, I think that was just the vessel or the tools that God gave me creatively to get to the point of the mentoring. So I had to just get some scars on my knee so I can get up. I remember I mentored Kathy Brown. I remember when she was getting ready to give up, she called me from overseas, in, you know, business, music business stuff, and I said, look, they didn't give you your gift, they can't take it away. You sing because God gave you that, and you just keep putting the Most High first, because you have to, because you didn't create yourself. None of us created ourselves, but we each have a seed of a gift within us that helps us move through this earth. Dorothy. It was always inside. The scarecrow, the lion, and the Tin Man, and Dorothy. Everything that they wanted was always inside of them. Nobody gave it to them. Now, we can awaken you to it because we can see what you might not be able to see. They say you can't see behind you. So that's what we call the blind spot. So I get more excited helping artists than putting out tracks. Yeah.
Kathy Brown, that's so cool.
Oh, my turn. Thank you. Whose little purse is this way, look? I do.
No.
You left any money in there? You left any money in there?
Just like, you know.
Oh, okay. What does precious love mean to you? First of all, I want to thank God for you and putting some more life to it, just expanding the life. For those of you who don't know, what brings us really together is the remix of Precious Love by the beautiful Sam Divine. So let's give her some love on Embarrassing? That's your answer. What brings you? Let me ask you. Okay. Somebody got to say, Barbara.
That's why you got held.
Okay, so what does precious love mean to you?
Okay, well, as Barbara said, I remixed Precious Love. So Precious Love to me is one of the, I remember receiving it on white label promo from Defected. And I played that white promo to death, literally. And it ended up being, we've got a girl gang. There's like 13 of us in our girl gang, and we all call
You have a girl gang?
We have a girl gang, yeah, we have a girl gang. And we call each other Presh from Precious Love. Yeah, we never ever called each other by our first names. We've never called each other by our first names. It's Presh from Precious Love, yeah, all precious. That's what we call each other, yeah. So every time at parties, when we played that, or when I would DJ, and you hear ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, all my girls would just run straight to the dance floor. And I've actually got a picture of my best friend Amy, because we were so obsessed with you when that record came out. And you were on stage, you were in Cardiff playing, this is like 20 years ago. And I've got a picture of her bowing down to you like this. She's actually on all fours on the dance floor, like bowing down to you. So yeah, we all call each other Precious because of Precious Love. So that's how precious that record is to me. So thank you so much for bringing that record into my life.
Wow. And just for the history, it was written by Blaze, Kevin Hedge, and Josh Milan. And this remix remix.
Dennis Ferrer.
Yes, no, like the world still never really heard the original version. It's more of a sultry R&B version of it. It's really sexy, smooth. But then when Dennis, actually, big shout out to Joe B, who was a part of who brought that to Dennis, and from there, he did the remix that took it over to Defected Records in its history. Now, thank you. Okay, I'm not touching the paper.
When you are no longer here,
I'm sorry?
when you are no longer here, what do you want people to remember you by? Your set, your show, or your legacy that you built in the industry?
Definitely the legacy in the industry. Shows are shows, and my set is a set. I mean, well, the DJs do a set. Oh, actually, we artists, we do sets also. I want them to remember the words that I say when I put the mic down, when I come off the stage. That's what it is, because that right there is the branding, the message. That is tag, you're it. Now, you awaken the creativity in you, you awaken the love in you.
It's your go.
Oh, thank you, you have to help me sometimes. Were you ever were you ever pressured to do something in the music industry that went against your morals because of fame or money?
No, never.
Right on it.
Yeah, no.
Love it.
Yeah.
Right on it. Because that's what we have out here a lot. If you want this gig, if you want to do this set, if you want to do this, maybe you have to bend over.
Yeah.
Maybe if you let me do this, I can give you this money or something. That's what that's about. You don't know that's out here. I don't know if it's out here as much in-house. I don't know. I don't know what happens as you go up higher, because here at house level, we're just so passionately and spiritual about the thing. But there's sometimes the expansion of dance music that comes out of the spirituality of that, if you understand what I'm saying. That is another level, and we don't know what's going on. Sometimes I think there's pressures to get high. Everybody's doing it, everybody's sniffing, and if you don't do these things, you seem like an outcast in doing that. So it's good that you're your own person, you're a worker of it. You are not there trying to sleep your way here or there. This is wonderful. This is wonderful. Have any of you been pressured like that? What, nobody came to you yet? No, I'm sorry.
So longevity, what is the one lesson about longevity you wish someone had taught you at the very beginning? That's a good question.
It really is. Did you understand that question? Because she has a sultry voice. I want to make sure people hear. And that's interesting. Being here so long, and what do I kind of wish that someone would have taught me then that I have, and it's interesting because when they don't teach you, you really got to learn. I have this book that I just came out with called Balancing Your Way Through the Music Industry. At any given point, you can screenshot that and it takes you straight to Amazon. So I didn't know about things of people trying to approach you. I didn't know about people not there trying to teach you something. Like if you and I write a song, and you have a dub, you don't know that you gotta copyright that too, because you might be a young person in the industry. And I think that it should be, I don't see anything wrong with, oh, don't forget to copyright that, Ms. Tucker or Mr. Smith, don't forget that. Oh, we want to make sure, do you have your lawyer? You know, teaching you the things that you know that they need as new people that come into it, you know, so that you can learn it. This is a business, the music business. I went to a panel years ago with Ashford and Simpson, Kashif, who else was Mtume, and the panel was amazing. I think Isaac Hayes might have been there. And they always say, what's the name of this business? Some music business. What is the bigger word of that? Business. So I didn't know how much I needed to learn, but I had to catch up to learn it. And how I did that, I would always go to all these conferences. Even if it was me by myself, I would go to a panel because that's school for me.
Yeah. Well, you hear of so many artists, younger artists now, that sign into, you know, crazy record deals with major labels, and then they just don't want to put any of their music out, and then they're stuck. Then, you know, they're being really creative and writing all this music, and they can't put anything out because the label isn't signing anything. So what do? You know, if you're, I'm known as more of a DJ than a DJ producer. Not so much now, I'm changing that narrative, but a lot of my friends are producers, and, you know, they tour off the back of records. Well, if you're stuck in a, you know, if you're stuck in a record deal, then how are you going to make music? Then how are you going to tour? You know, wow. So I think a lot of artists just see, you know, money signs in their eyes, and, you know, it's life-changing money, you know. So I think for longevity for these artists, some of the major record labels, they don't really care about the artists. No. Which is really sad, and I think you've got to have really tough skin in this industry. Yes. You know, it's not, you know, you can't go boo-hooing to someone. Mm-hmm. You've got to be really, really tough skin. And in the beginning, there's lots of people that just kind of see, you know, videos of, you know, DJs playing on big stages, and, you know, the lights and all the fancy CO2s and everything else, and think it's that, and it's not. It's a Monday to Friday, 24 hours a day job. Yeah, that's what music is. You breathe it. That you love. Yeah, you breathe it, you live it every single day, and you've got to be prepared to make a lot of sacrifices. And no one told me that in the beginning, you know, and now that I'm in this kind of sober space, it's like I'm not going to sacrifice anything for music anymore.
I like that. That goes back to my earlier statement about seeking the Most High first, because you need that spiritual space, because you're able to then move in an excellent way and not make music your God. Make it by any means necessary. I'm going to do that because you're watching the Carl Cox, the Black Coffees, the Getters. You're watching them up here, and it just looks so sexy and so cool to see Louis do this or whatever. But these people are putting in the work. You can see the bags under half of our eyes. You know, you're putting in the marketing, you're having your teams. You cannot do it alone. You must have your team. Even Starbucks has a staff, right? Okay, so it's my turn? Or your turn? I think it's my turn. Oh, I do this because I only need them to see, not to read. Seasons. How did you handle periods when opportunities slowed down, and what kept you grounded? Okay.
Well, for me, I mean, I've always been grounded. I've got really supportive family and friends that always keep me grounded. I don't think I've ever kind of had a dip in my career. I feel like it's been a steady rise throughout the last 25 years. You know, I haven't had that big record that's blown me up, or, you know, a certain show that's blown me up. I've played it all around the world, and I'm just so blessed to be able to do something that I love. And, you know, I'm very lucky that I haven't had any dips and troughs. It's been like a steady rise. And like the most craziest thing happened in 2025, January 2025, I deleted everything off my Instagram.
Wow.
Deleted everything.
Why?
Because I went into recovery, and I went to rehab, and I knew that when I came out, I was going to be a different person. Oh. So I didn't even want to look at what my old life looked at. And my feeds went up 20% just by deleting everything and just putting out better content, more content that was authentic to me. You know, just not putting a post out just for the sake of putting a post out. Because now, as a, you know, you're a DJ, you're also a content producer, you're a, you know, record label owner, you're all of, like you said before, with all these different hats on. And I'm just building the career and the DJ that I've always wanted to be now.
That's beautiful.
you know, and everything's kind of going back to basics. I've just done a all-night long tour and going back to basics, giving back to grassroots, the very venues that gave me a chance when I first started DJing, playing in smaller rooms, 300, 400 cap. We did £5 tickets, you know, to give back to the community as well. And this is everything that I did 25 years ago when I first started DJing, because I wanted to, know that I still loved it. I knew that I still loved it, but was I still as passionate about it as I was 25 years ago? And just that tour, I just ticked all the boxes. So now everything that I do, if it doesn't make my heart sing, then it just goes in the bin.
How is it, and I know this isn't in there, but it's piggybacking off of this. Now, again, blessings to you for your sobriety. This is amazing. How is it now being a DJ that is a sober DJ opposed to how it was?
Oh, it's day and night. It's day and night. I feel like I'm a much stronger artist now. Like I have so much clarity. My no means no, my yes means yes. When you're vibrating on a lower frequency, you're making silly decisions, or you're making decisions on emotion. Whereas now I feel like I'm so solid as a person. I've found myself again. I've reinvented myself again. 555, my new record label. 555 being an angel number, which means personal growth, personal spiritual growth, and freedom. And that's how I feel in sobriety. I feel like a butterfly, and I'm just kind of just doing my thing now. Yeah.
I love that intention, naming your labels or your branding with intention, for it also prophesies your future.
Yeah.
Well, your tomorrow.
That feels more authentic, and it feels more aligned with what I'm doing in my personal life. And I feel like, you know, Sam Divine as an artist, I kind of forgot about who the real Sam was. The wife, the stepmom, the daughter, best friend, you know, that kind of got a bit blurred for a while. Whereas now I can separate the two and be Sam when I'm at home, and then I'm Sam Divine when I'm on stage. You know, my heart is still the same. And
you know, this is a book.
Yeah, I know.
I've been working on your book.
I literally, someone said that to me yesterday as well. Yeah.
You really have to do it, and you know, we don't just do books just to say, oh, I got a book, but the testimony that's going to heal somebody else by that. First of all, I just love her. I love her synergy when she plays, and the fact that I played this way when I was on this frequency. Now I'm over here, so people need to know that you don't always have to be high or drunk playing, and the clarity of what you're picking, and your mixes are not sloppy, but your friends are so drunk with you they're not telling you. But people are like, what is that? What did he just do? What did she just do? So you know. I love it. You should really start working on that book, because I always say tomorrow isn't promised. So birth these things out, those creative ideas, birth them out, tour with that. You know, you see me walking around with a poster, so if I get a QR code, okay?
So this one's on guidance. If you could give one decision an emerging artist should make early, a final step that will shape their future, what would you say?
Wow, what I would tell any artist, and when I say artist, it could be the DJ, the artist, or whomever, you need a mentor. Go to those conferences, not just, the party should be the icing on the cake. Go to the conferences and meet people who've done what you've done, meet mentors who can help you and stir your career, but also check them out, because we are adults here. Don't let somebody stroke your ego, take your money, test the proof, make sure they're of quality, see, research who they're working with. Do they have a bad name, a good name attached with them? But you need a mentor, a coach, because you can't just be doing anything. And again, I'm reminded of the scripture that says, let us create. So even the gods, because us means there was more than one God, apparently, not just one God creating. Let us create, so that lets me know that we can partner up. I could be the creative, you could be the law, you could handle the marketing. That's all us creating and building for your business. You're not just music, you're a business. Okay, I think we have less than 5 minutes. Okay, let's put it out to the crowd. Yeah. Does anyone have a question for any of us?
I'll take the mic down.
If not, I'll load one up ready.
Anybody?
For the both of you as really established artists, and I know Miami in itself is a place that's a lot different than a lot of other metropolitan places or places in the United States in general. What are some of the things when you've been in town or been in the city specifically that you feel like you need to have or carry here that you may not need elsewhere when you go about? What are the specific Miami things that you feel kind of keep you true to yourself while you're here, since there are a lot of distractions and kind of a lot of ways where you could possibly, as you were saying, lose yourself?
Yeah, well, for me, it's just really important. I've been coming to Miami Music Week since 2007, so a really long time. You know, for me, it was the only place where I could see my favourite American DJs because they didn't play in Europe or the UK very often. So for me, in the early days, it was about coming to see my favourite DJs, you know, and just hanging out and going partying all day, all night. Whereas now, when I'm in Miami, I'm on business, you know. I've come in from Chicago, I've been here since Sunday, you know, 2 days chill, 2 days back to back, you know, meetings, panels, interviews, you know, hooking up with you know, A&Rs and so it's business, and then tomorrow, you know, it's home time, and I feel that I've got the balance right, you know, and it's taken me since 2007 to get the balance. But it's like what Barbara was saying earlier, these conferences are so important. I know that people have said that my music week has changed quite a lot. Like back in the day, you would have a lot more industry people out here, and it was more conference kind of led. But you've still got ADE, you've still got IMS, you've got the Brighter Music one as well, and Manchester pop-ups. And it is actually so important, like for a young artist, I was going to everything, all of the conferences. I was sat at the front with my notepad, I was like a sponge taking everything in. So it's actually wild that now I'm sat doing the panel. You know, before I was exactly where you were.
And for me, the thing that I must have as I'm going through different countries and situations, and I'll say to keep my sanity, my head, my assistant Helen knows, I play scriptures throughout the night. I wake up and play, today is November such and such, and this is for peace, this is for you, this is for your family. So I pray. So by the time I walk out, wherever hotel I'm in this mode, and you can't bring me down, you can't shake me out. Yeah, always keeping your spiritual head here. I have to always emphasize this thing, because you go out, all kind of things could be just, this is going wrong and this is here, a lot of stuff is overtaking you, what you're doing. So to keep you in yourself, your self-embodiment of peace, I will say, that's what I do. I'm a very spiritual person, and a lot of times I don't even listen to music at home.
I listen to frequency 555 heat.
That's weird. You see, people are trying to keep their mind right. You're trying to keep your mind. And I just listen to scriptures and stories and people who've gone through, and just to build up my faith and understand my purpose while I'm here, and that when I move, I and my Father are one. We're moving together.
I carry sage now, so I sage my space,
Work.
the club or the green room, because we have so many different energies. Yeah. And then have a really hot shower when I get home to scrub everyone's energies off me. You know? You have to.
It's
You
all
have
I get it.
to, like you said, to keep
can't take
peace.
that to bed with
No.
Okay.
Thank you so much, everyone.